Good morning, fight fans. It's AC Cooper from Eastwick Boxing UK, and I'm bringing you some thoughts and opinions from Cooper's Corner. It's fucking cold here, guys. It's cold, it's snowing. It's been snowing all week, so I'm going to talk some boxing to take my mind off of things. As always, Eastwick Boxing UK is in association with threekingsboxing.com. I hope you enjoyed the Ortiz Wilder preview show that me and a couple of my friends did yesterday. These guys are knowledgeable guys, as I said on the video. If you haven't seen it, I'll pop a link on the channel at the end. Right, we've got a busy weekend of action in front of us, and I can totally forgive you for having all eyes on a certain World Championship fight in the heavyweight division, but we've got some stuff going on that's closer to home. One of our fan favourites makes a long-awaited return to the ring, and there's a huge case, actually, that this is the biggest fight of Kell Brook's career, primarily, in my personal opinion, because he's fighting for it. Now, at this point in time, you might think I'm crazy. You know, Kell shared a ring with Gennady Golovkin, and for a few rounds, and, you know, for a minute or two, it looked like he could win that fight. And then Kell Brook shared a ring with Errol Spence Jr. And for the first 7 rounds, he was winning that fight too. But the simple fact is that he lost both of those fights. And he came away with nasty eye injuries in both. Golovkin broke one eye, and then Spence went and did the other one. So he's taken some time off. We haven't seen him since May, and he's coming back. So I'm going to talk a little bit about in this video about really what a win and what a defeat actually could mean for Kell Brook. So we'll start with the defeat. A third loss on the spin would more or less kill Kell's career. You know, Sergey Rubchenko isn't a world level fighter. This is sort of European level, which is on the base, sort of level he's on. He could step down a level, but he's not going to want to do that. And the most important thing, and it's a fight that everybody has wanted to see for years, which a loss would effectively kill, is a third loss would just total any chances of a lucrative fight with Amir Khan, who's now in the same stable, so that fight is now quite easy to make. So a loss would totally blow that out of the water. Now, his opponent's being bigged up, personal opinion, far higher than he should be, by Eddie Hearn, but hey, it's his job to sell the fight, right? Hearn said he was surprised that Brook's team chose Sergey Rubchenko as an opponent. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not at all. Let's call this exactly what it is. This is a fight that's been made to build up Brook's confidence. So Rubchenko is a solid European level light middleweight that has failed to achieve on both occasions he's stepped up to world level fighters. Right? He lost to Tony Harrison, who Jared Hurt beat for the vacant IBF title, and lost to Anthony Mundine, who I do not rate at all. And I mean at all. He's a come forward pressure fighter that someone of Brook's skill should be able to navigate. So there's a lot of people out there that are slagging Brook off, that he isn't all that good, that his career and his resume aren't all that good either. There's cases, and I completely understand where you're coming from in that sense. Kell hasn't had a career that's littered with names. I mean, Carson Jones, who is now effectively a journeyman, and Sean Porter are the best names on there, right? But in terms of skill set, Kell's skill set's actually pretty good, so I'm going to break down quickly his strengths for you. First, he's got a good jab. He's really good at controlling the distance. I personally think his best work is done at mid-range. Generally, we tend to see Kell throw sort of a 1-2 or throw a single hook or a single uppercut and then move off. But when he lets his hands go and he puts his combos together, it does quite well, which we saw in the Golovkin fight. I think for me personally, Kell's best strength is counter-punching. One weakness is he has a tendency to lean back rather than use his feet to get himself out of trouble, which we saw in the Golovkin fight as well and in the Spence fight. So when he's backing up against the ropes, rather than getting on as soon as his back touches the ropes and moves off, he has a tendency to lean back. And that doesn't go too well for him, as we've seen previously, which is surprising, actually, because his footwork really isn't that bad at all. One thing that Kell's going to have to watch out for, and this is something that Ryan Rhodes, who Rubchenko beat in 2012, had said, is that Rubchenko stands in front of you all the time. He won't move that much, and it might be that Kell has to take a shot to give one back. So we're certainly going to see, I mean, there's a lot of talk from Eddie Hearn that he's been in heavy sparring and he's been punched very hard and etc, 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 and the face is held up. But, again, this isn't wearing headguard and 12, 14-ounce gloves, right? So we'll see. So where does he go if he wins? Well, the belt is for, the fight itself, actually, is for the WBC Silver Light Middleweight title. And that's going to give him a top 10 ranking. So the champion in that division of the WBC is Jamel Charlo, who has a 9th of June date for his next fight. So Brook could be an interesting alternative for Charlo for a fight later in the year. Brook's been to America before, And if he's serious about trying to be world champion again, that's an option. It's a very dangerous one, given the fact that Charlo has got some serious punching power, right? There is a motto that's fast ringing out in the mouths of boxing fans. And if you haven't heard it before, here it is. If you doubt Charlo, he will knock you the fuck out. Simple. I mean, we all saw what he did in his previous fight. But hey, that's an option there. It is a possibility. Personally, I don't think that Kell is that long for boxing. I think that maybe he's got 2 or 3 fights in him. I think that personally, I think he's going to take the Rabchenko fight. I think he'll take another ranking fight in the light middleweight division. He'll see what his options are. I think the thing, so Saddam Ali is fighting Liam Smith. I don't know when that is, but that rumour is going to take place later in the year. That's the sort of the softer option for him. I'm sure that's a fight that Eddie Hearn will try and make. But that all depends on whether Ali wins the fight. If Ali wins the fight, then that fight can get made. If he doesn't, given the fact that Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren don't generally play too nice, I think he can kiss goodbye to that kind of shot. So I think it entirely depends on what's going to happen and how other fights pan out. Personal sense is he takes one more fight after this one, after the Rabchenko fight, providing he wins, obviously. And then I think he's going to cash out. And I think we'll finally see Amir Khan, Kell, Brook, and I think that we'll probably see that in the spring of next year. There we go. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Kell has a few more fights in him, because he did show against 2 elite level fighters that he faced that he has the talent to hang with them. The one thing I will say is a lot is being made about how much better suited Brook is at 154. So if he fails again in any of his next few fights, they have no excuses. Either he doesn't have it anymore, or he doesn't have the talent to mix at boxing's top table, period. I wish him all the best. I really do. That's just about all for me, guys. As I said in my last video, I'm really starting to get some traction on this channel. So if you like the stuff, don't forget to subscribe. For me, as well as for many of the other guys that you regularly hear on this channel. So Willie the Kid at Eastwick Boxing UK, Chris Henderson at Four Corners Boxing Talk, and another regular panelist that I have here, which is Bo Bland, and you can find him at Truth and Facts About Boxing. You can also find me writing at threekingsboxing.com. You can find me on Eastwick Boxing UK on Twitter and on Facebook. If you've got any questions, you drop a comment in the comment box. Or if you want to write to me, then feel free to write to me at aaron@threekingsboxing.com. Thanks for listening, guys. Until next time.